think I know now why Stephen ordained so many people. So they'd all be here. All these priests, my goodness. I love it. You know, in the Chinese arts, it said that a teacher for a day is a father for life. And by that measure, Stephen has been father for a lot of people for many lifetimes. You know, in the Tao Te Ching, chapter 1, Lao Tzu says, the Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. And yet here we are, and all we have is words and our love for Dashi. I met Steve when he was just 17, just a kid in kind of Gardena, and he and a bunch of his friends wanted to study Chinese arts. Steve had already been studying with my Sifu, Great Grandmaster Arkiwei Wong, for a couple of years at least, and for several years before that, Filipino style of karate called Shikara. I was immediately struck when I met Steve by how intelligent he was and how sensitive and caring he was. And I was honored when he asked me to be his Sifu. Many years later, he would make me the proudest person on earth when he became my first black belt. And years later, he became the first person I promoted to Sifu, and then Dashi Fu, senior instructor, finally master instructor, and grandmaster. And he's the only person I've ever promoted to those very high ranks. Steve would become a fine instructor and an even finer human being, always in pursuit of the eternal truths about life. He would become ordained and open the Lohan Shaolin School and Temple, and ordained so many. This temple, his school, became a place of refuge for so many people. It became the spiritual home of Las Vegas. And his line dance team became literally the jewel of the state. I saw in this program that you're going to line dance today, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
You're bringing out the white lion. I know that of all people, you know how to do it right. Now, our beloved Dashi has moved from the physical to the spiritual plane, navigating through Baugh first, leaving beacons for the rest of us to follow in time. To his many family members, his Sangha, dear students, fast friends, clients, I can only say that I too feel the deep wells of grief and literally disbelief that all of us are. May you comfort each other and continue to pursue love, justice, joy, spirit, and truth, as Dashi did with such passion, ease, and grace. It's a blessing that I learned when I became ordained. It goes like this: there's law, there's life, there's love. Law is immutable. Life is infinite. Love is manifestation. This man manifested. May the Tao be with you, my beloved friend, student, and disciple. Blessed be, blessed be. I love you.
We can all say Sifu was like a father to us. He was special to us all. Sifu, in a sense, kind of welcomed me to his family. As Maria would always tell me, I'm the brother from another mother. I started training with Sifu back in '99 for nearly 20 years. First time I walked into the school, I knew something was special. Special about the school, special about the man. Over time, it gave me a sense of purpose and focus. I was awarded my first Black Sash back in 2008. Our test was expected and unexpected, as you guys know, right? Sifu gave us a time and asked us to be at his house. When I arrived, I was nervous, didn't know what the test was. He didn't tell us. Sifu even asked me, why do I look so nervous? I don't know what was going on. And of course he smiled. That's generally, it's always his general reaction to such. Sifu asked us all to proceed to the backyard. First thing he does, he hands us a shovel. Not a bunch spade, a gardening shovel. So we happily renovated the backyard for 6 hours or so. But what we didn't know, we were, laying our ground for our test. And from there, we demonstrated martial arts, the applications. He was smiling, he was proud. Because of Sifu, I met my wife, Yuko. We've been happily married for 12 years. We were able to take him to Japan. We were able to take him to Kyoto, to show him all the temples. Got to take him to Osaka to meet his good lifetime friend, Sifu French. So, Sifu, thank you for everything. Thank you for opening the High School of Shaolin instead of your original drink, the Gentleman's Club. Once alone, always alone. He told us all. When no one's alone, keep separate and strong. Together, we're invincible. Sifu, until we meet again.
For sharing him with us. It's not easy having a man like Sifu as your son, as your father, who you have to share with the world. And I just want to thank you so much for sharing this gift with us. Today in particular, I want to thank Maria. She was there with her father in his final moments. And she handled some of the hardest moments that anyone will ever face with courage and the ferocity that we know her for. I just want to tell you that your father is so proud of you. I want to talk to you, and I'm a lawyer, so I'm used to getting paid by the word, so this could take a while. You grab me if you need to. Take your time. I want to talk to you about the past a little bit. I want to talk to you about the very recent past. And I want to talk to you all about the future. I met Stephen B. Baugh in 1994 when I was 24 years old. He was about 40. And I met him because I joined Q the Sports Club, which is on Rainbow, very close to his house, specifically because they had Tai Chi classes. And Shifu Dashi was teaching those classes. What I didn't know until a few nights ago, talking with Maria, is that he had also joined that sports club as a member. You see, Shifu had relocated his family from California. He was deep into the printing business, and he was caught up in a corporate lifestyle. He was not where he wanted to be. He was a little chubby. So he wanted to lose some weight and get back into the teachings that Sigon Carl and his teachers had bestowed upon him. And he joined the Q as a member. I guess he happened by the Tai Chi class and realized whoever the poor soul that was teaching it was insufficient. And he took over that class. And so I met him in that class. I'd always wanted to do martial arts, but I had never connected with a style or a teacher before. And I had the good fortune of being Shifu's first Tai Chi student in Las Vegas, first Tai Chi student. After about 3 classes with him at Q the Sports Club, I knew I had found my Shifu. And I asked him, well, do you teach anything else? He says, yeah, I teach a couple guys at my house. Within a day or so, I showed up at his house, and I learned that those couple of guys were his son Raul, Brian and Alan, the twins, the Mannings. And I need to pause for a second. For those of you who don't know Brian and Alan Manning, the beautiful, powerful logo for this school that many of us wear on our backs and some of us have tattooed on our bodies was designed by those young men, and we want to thank them. Along with Alan and Brian, there's Andre and Big Country Roy. I don't think he's here today. And a few others. We began training in Shifu's garage, a story that seems many of the Kung Fu schools and his brothers started in a garage. And we trained in his garage and on the street, literally in front of his house on Eugene Cernan. And that's when I met Maria when she was 12. And she realized that she was going to have to start sharing her father with a bunch of boys. We trained for a number of years, a couple of years in Shifu's garage, and we decided, for whatever reason, to go to our first tournament. And our school was so dominant in that first tournament that they asked us, "Where did you come from?" We said, "His garage." This was the beginning of our school. From there, we began to move some of the classes, and especially the Tai Chi, to the First Church of Religious Science over by UNLV. The Kung Fu school then moved to the lobby of Chinatown, which was brand new at the time. And as we were beginning the process in Shifu's moving from the gentleman's club to the idea that maybe a Kung Fu school and a temple, if you look around this room, you can see what Shifu has felt. There are people from every race in the nation. And it was no different when there were a handful of us. And there were about 8 senior students at that time. And because of that diversity, Shifu got inspiration from the Lohan temple. The Lohan monks were various races. They were not pure Chinese. They were from different countries. And there were 8 of them, and there were roughly 8 singers. And that is the source of the name of the school, the Lohan School of Shaolin, from those 8 original Lohan monks. This school was incorporated on March 24th, 1998. Shifu left us in the month of March. He left us on a Sunday. He left us on a Saint's Day. I want to talk to you about the recent past. Some of you know that I was sick most of the winter, and as a result, I hadn't seen Shifu all of this year until last Wednesday, the first time after my surgery that I was able to make it to the school. Fortunately, I was able to practice Tai Chi with Shifu one more time. We had a chance to have a discussion on Wednesday. There were 3 things on Shifu's mind. The first was was Billy Ann, who's in the hospital now, perhaps facing another surgery herself. He was very concerned about her and her well-being. For those of you who don't know, Billy Ann is one of the founding members of the school. She's the secretary of the school. Would you say she's his road dog? The second thing that was on Shifu's mind was the pride that he had from how well the school functioned and his students functioned during Chinese New Year. He expressly said to me that everything ran perfectly and that it was as if he didn't need to be there. And he was so proud of the team that he built and how well they did. Lastly, Shifu was concerned about his legacy. What he said to me was, he reminded me, because we had the discussion before, in his past lives, when he passed on, the school and the teachings did not survive. And he did not want that to happen. Not this time. And he wanted me to hear that. And he wanted me to share that with all of you. And he called for his generals to come to be here with him and to be here with you. And so lastly, I want to speak to you about the future. Not this time. Not this time. Shifu, I commit to protect this light you have shared with me. And I will pass on this torch until I see you again. All Lohans, all of the Sangha, Dashi needs you now. His family needs you now. And I know you will answer the call.